What is going on, Dork Daily? It is your resident Delco Dork Gabe Riberio, back with another video. Turkey season, baby. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And, a lot of us have traditions out there. We meet up with family and friends, we have a good meal. But, well, what do most people watch on Thanksgiving? Usually the parade or football, right? Well, maybe not. Here's what we're going to look at today. Here are my 5 recommendations for what to watch on Thanksgiving, especially if you don't want to watch the Dallas Cowboys after the parade or during or after the big meal. So let's get into it, shall we? Number 5 is a Winnie the Pooh Thanksgiving from 1998. Yes, I can see some of you rolling your eyes at an animated Winnie the Pooh special from the 90s. Hey, these characters transcend time. We all know them, we all love them, and I think this is a pretty solid special. It's nice and brisk in its runtime. It's a simple enough plot. Rabbit wants to make a very perfect meal for Christopher Robin as they all have Thanksgiving dinner together. And of course, when he puts people up to getting certain tasks done, and he's a little bit of a stick in the mud about it, everything goes haywire. But it is a solid enough special. These characters are always great. We love to see the interactions and what they try to do and bringing their personality profiles, because that's essentially what they are, folks, look it up, to how they want to assemble the dinner for Christopher Robin. I think it's a fun time, especially for little kids. It's still a good, solid watch even if you're an adult. So that's why I'm recommending it. At number 5. Number 4 is a Garfield Thanksgiving from 1989. Somehow, someway, I keep coming back to Garfield when it comes to holiday specials. I've already talked about him in my Christmas specials video. If you guys haven't seen that, it's on the channel. He also has a great Halloween special. Of course, a holiday's coming around the corner, and Garfield being who he is just obsessed with the fact that he's going to eat like he goes crazy and has a food coma for Thanksgiving. But, sorry Garfield, there is a little problem here. Before that, you have a vet visit. And the whole plot is that John is crushing on Garfield's vet, and he invites her over for Thanksgiving dinner, and because Garfield's vet wants him to lose weight, he's going to sabotage the meal, and it's going to go terribly for John. Always kind of hijinks with that kind of stuff with Garfield. But he ultimately learns his lesson, and there's a really heartwarming ending for the special. And I think it's pretty solid. I'll always go back to it for Thanksgiving, and that is why it's making my number 4. Number 3 is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I've already talked about this movie in my favorite movies from the year I was born. 3 comedy geniuses. John Hughes, great script, and then the dynamic between Steve Martin and John Candy is just chef's kiss, as they say. It's just the best. So many classic moments. It's the real article.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, I could talk all day. If you guys have not seen, there is a 35th anniversary Blu-ray with 70 minutes cut out. So that's just greatness in and of itself. Fantastic story. It just wants to get home for Thanksgiving, and John Candy's just being a big pain in the ass. I also noticed that there are new Funko Pops coming out, so I might need to get those. But this movie is just so solid. I would have it higher if I had seen it earlier in life, but because it took me so long, I can't have it any higher than 3. But it is still a solid, great comedy from the 80s. Number 2 is the Cheers Thanksgiving episode, Thanksgiving Orphans, from its 5th season. My God, I love Cheers. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I love this cast dynamic. They're all great in their roles. This, to me, is one of the best episodes of the series. So everyone's plans seem to just go nowhere for Thanksgiving. So they all decide to meet up at Carla's house. Except for Diane, who gets humiliated when she thought that she was going to meet up with a professor for study for her class, and it turns out they thought she was waitstaff. But anyway, after just having some fun watching football and wrestling, they decide to sit down for dinner and start arguing, and a food fight ensues, and it's fantastic. There's a great punchline at the very end. It's got some heartwarming stuff. I just love the Cheers cast in general. It's one of my absolute favorite episodes, as I've mentioned. That food fight, I just love food fights in general, but to see it with this cast is just the best. But it's not my favorite recommendation for Thanksgiving. And there's only one that can make that distinction. Number 1 is the Simpsons episode, Bart vs. Thanksgiving, from their 2nd season. I cannot believe that this episode is almost 35 years old and they haven't made a better Thanksgiving episode since. I mean, any Simpsons fan has seen this episode. It's a classic. They want to have the Simpson family and the Bouvier family all over for Thanksgiving dinner. There's some great one-liners.
Hey Maggie, those silver and blue guys are the Dallas Cowboys. They're Daddy's favorite team. And he wants him to lose by less than 5.5 points. Understand?
Lisa makes her centerpiece, and she's very proud of it, wants to show it off for the family. Bart wants to get the turkey dinner going. Lisa's centerpiece ends up in the fire. You guys know the drill. Bart's afraid that they are mad at him, so he runs off, and he learns a really nice lesson by befriending guys at a soup kitchen and giving them money, and the family reconciles at the end. Everything in between is hilarious. I love The Simpsons. It's a classic episode. I watch it every Thanksgiving. It's really at the heart of what The Simpsons was in the 90s. And even after all these seasons of mediocrity, I still go back because these are classics and I love it near and dear to my heart. That is why Bart vs. Thanksgiving makes my number one. So what did you think, guys, of this list? Did you guys have any suggestions for me? I'm sorry, I do not like a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I'm sorry if it's controversial. It's not much on plot. They just put together mass spread and then Peppermint Patty yells at Charlie Brown until they go to Grandma's house. Kinda lame. One of the worst specials. Sorry. Hot take. But anyway, if you liked any other Thanksgiving viewing entertainment, did I leave it off the list? Let me know in the comments. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And say with drumstick for the G-Man, because I love me some turkey drumsticks. Happy Thanksgiving, guys, and I'll see you next time.